Hello, and welcome to another Contemplative Living, where we talk about concepts to bring contemplative living into our everyday lives. Now, if you're on the live stream, and if you're on the live stream, the chat box is open. But I hit the button earlier, and it looked like I was live, but I really wasn't. I just didn't realize I hit a button. I had to reset everything. So it took a couple of minutes to get it all reset. But here we are. And, when the Buddha talked about, when he defined views as wrong or right, he was not presenting a dogmatic or a moralistic way of looking at the world. But rather pointing out that certain views lead to the end of suffering. And so right view is the first part of the Eightfold Path. And that's what we're going to look at today. So let's get to it. Welcome to Contemplative Living, where we view contemplations for the week to have a better understanding of our spiritual paths. This is Contemplative Living with Dave Bennett, Contemplations and Reflective Meditations. All right, so right view. Wow. Okay, it's more of a, we're asking people to take a look at the way we think, and that's what right view is really all about. Is we want to look at our thoughts so that we may better understand ourselves, our thoughts, where they're coming from, what they're rooted in. So a sound spiritual practice needs to be rooted in a sound understanding of life. So as we look at our thoughts, as we explore them, we come to a better understanding. And that's what it's all about, is understanding. So we make better decisions in all aspects of our lives when we are clear about the foundations of our thinking. This leads to clear thinking. But first, we need to understand our thoughts. And where do our thoughts come from? Why do we think the way we think? Those are the types of questions that, hey, hello, and happy Sunday to you guys, too. I'm glad you're out there. But we want to look at our thoughts. We want to look at where do they come from? What is the root? And right view, we reflect on what we think because thoughts lead to actions. So if we examine our thoughts and bring our thoughts from our true nature, then that leads to better actions. Our actions are a result of what we're thinking and what we believe. And what we believe is right. So when we examine and take that deep dive into our thoughts, into our perceptions, then we begin to have that better understanding of where we are in our life, and it helps lead us into better actions. So right view, our ideas are like seeds fed by our practice. Now, I'm a strong advocate for a meditative or contemplative type of practice of some sort, any sort, and what's comfortable for you. But when we take this concept of right view, and then we begin to see what our real deep ideals and ideas are, then we can feed them through our practice and give them more energy, give them more vitality to sprout and become our reality. Now, mindfulness requires a disciplined mental effort and detailed empirical, I always trip over that, empirical inquiry. Boy, if I can get my mouth to move right, it'd be great. But so mindfulness is kind of a part of this right view, because we need to have that discipline and that mental effort to be present, fully present, and aware of our thoughts. We combine those together, and we have a very, very powerful combination to help us to make the decisions that we need to make in the present moment and during the circumstances that we find ourselves in. So find understanding through the transformation of your perception. Remember, it's kind of a philosophical debate. It's a mental exercise, but it also creates a transformation within us. That's, think about that. That our mental exercises can transform who we are and where we're going and what we want to achieve. We can set those grand ideals that we never can really achieve, but we can work toward, and we can create that steady path of becoming rooted in who we really are and reaching out to our greater selves. So become aware of what you think and inquire deeply into why you believe what you think. Take the time to look deeply and become aware. It's amazing when you do that. You tend to rise above yourself. You rise above the circumstances, because now you're using that higher sense of your being to look at yourself, look at your thoughts, look at your actions, and come to an understanding. Understanding is part of the root of clear view, of right view. Understanding. It's coming to an understanding of our thoughts, where they come from, so that we can then make decisions that are really designed for our path, for our moves forward. I hope that you can find that time this week some time this week to explore your thoughts. Bring it into your practice and see how that helps you. I'm sure you're going to find how empowering that can be. Hope you have a blessed week. Namaste.